Thank you, Nino, for the introduction. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer. So, yes, my name is Mohammed. I'm here in Berlin, and I want to talk to you about the glass room, which actually takes on several different formats. One that Nino just mentioned, the glass room experience, but actually, I want to take you back and show you a little bit of another format, larger ones that were done in London, Berlin, and most recently in San Francisco, where we had about, let's say, maybe 40 to 50 objects on average in each one of these exhibitions. Each one of the objects or artifacts were actually exploring different areas, and we had put them in different narratives, one about being deeply personal, or one about the big tech in San Francisco. Each one of these narratives focus on a very certain topic, and um, and then, as Nino also just mentioned, we got so much acceptance over these large exhibitions that usually had about 20,000 visitors in about 18 days that we decided to do a pop-up version, a community version that's easily accessed. It's portable, it's lightweight, and actually we've done about 160 of these events in the past 2 years. One, as Nino mentioned, in Prague, but also in the Caucasus region. There's been a few, and a lot in sub-Saharan Africa recently. This latest version was called the IoT version. This is the one that was talking about, Internet of Things, and it had all different kinds of objects. It had about actually 6 different posters and 2 different digital apps that were shown on tablets. This image here that you see in front of you is looking at selfie and facial. It's called Your Selfie, Your Data, but it's really talking about how facial recognition is used in this technology. The latest one, which is kind of brings us here together on this topic of misinformation, was indeed just released a few days ago. I'll put this in the chat. I'll invite everyone to go. There's now a virtual exhibition because usually they were physical pop-up exhibitions where you can actually visit, but of course, because of COVID, we adapted. And this is the image that you'll see when you visit the website, and it kind of shows a sketch of what the physical exhibition would kind of be displaying. And I'll go through each and one of these different objects right now just to give you an idea of the work that we've been doing here in the past 6 months or so. We have this one object that's called Paper Real, and it's kind of a takeover from, or a carryover from the first edition. The first edition really talked about smart devices and asked users whether to decide if something is fake or real. Here we have a series of maybe like 15 or 20 different questions about different objects, and it's up to you to decide whether it's fake or real, and it's an explanation afterwards. Another object, another digital app, as we call them, is Double Check. This is done with some partners of ours in Milan, in the university. They're called Density Design. And this one, Double Check, really does the same thing and kind of asks you and tests your knowledge around fake. Misinformation. Here we have one called A Drop in the Ocean. This was done by our colleague, Varun, and it goes through these psychometric tests that really kind of ended up giving people a grade based on one of these 5 characteristics, and then feeding them these micro-targeted ads that Cambridge Analytica used. We have another one by Density Design, which is called Deep Fake Lab. And it kind of takes you through how to make a deep fake, actually. So as you can see, there's about 10 different steps here. And it's a very interactive in the sense that there's a lot of videos and it goes into big detail. Another piece around deep fakes is this poster here, Deep Future, that really explores the extent of what is happening with the technology that's being used now and how we see ourselves in the future. So it poses a lot of questions, the glass room, and it's not really, its approach is it's a bit different. It doesn't try to push you into, to scare you into the different areas. Here we have another poster really about design tricks. And this was a big hit in San Francisco, and we decided to continue this. These images are actually pieces of the posters. When you get on the website, you'll be able to read the whole poster and see the whole poster. Here's another poster, but this one is more around the habit-forming behaviors, and really about the addiction that we have to our devices. So this was a design done by another student, really tackling that area and showing kind of an infograph of the usage of people across different age groups. This one was a more interactive version of the same thing where people can go in there through their screen time or their, it's called screen time on your iOS, but there's also an Android feature that also allows you to go in there and see the different categories. And it's meant for people to go and mark and anonymously, and we're trying to figure out how to do this visually. Of course, in every one of our editions, we have the data detox kit, which is actually tips and tricks on how to lower your exposure to data. And we have something specifically an article for the misinformation edition and some tips on how to reduce actually sharing those fake news by mistake. So we've all done it before, not just Pranak. I think we've all been there. Also part of the exhibition is a series of different videos. This one's called Trichography. There's about 4 different ones that are take place over 24 minutes, and we ask people to play this on loop during the exhibition. We're really excited to roll this out here in the next few months. We have a lot of partners throughout Europe, but beyond, who are going to be doing online versions of this. And if you're interested, please let us know. Thank you.